Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing? This is Karen, and I'm here to teach you why you are probably not getting the house that you're putting an offer on. So I'm seeing a lot of different people on Facebook asking, I'm putting offers on properties and I'm not getting anything accepted. Why? So I'm going to teach you probably the reason. Now, remember, nothing's 100%. You could have a seller meet a buyer that they really liked and they want to sell them the house, or some cash deal. Not all cash is good. That came in and they want to accept it. So these are the reasons probably that you're not getting the house. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest in this video, okay? Brutally honest, especially that I sell a lot of properties. I represent a lot of sellers. In the last 2 weeks, we had over 65 offers come in. And I'm going to go over those with you to show you, because it might have been one of yours. And I just put in 2 buyers and got accepted on both of them within the last week. I'm going to show you what you can do. Before we start this video, I need to explain 2 things that's extremely important. Number 1, you have to understand who you're hiring. The agent that's representing you when buying a house, are you doing the due diligence on them? Because they're the ones representing you and putting in these offers. They should be educated and understand what offers should be accepted. You need to understand that this person is representing you. So at the end of the day, if you don't get a house, if they did something wrong, it's on you. You know, everyone's a realtor out there, but you got to do your due diligence. Number 2, extremely, extremely important. For all the other sellers out there and listing agents who don't understand anything about loans, you're driving me crazy. There's this myth out there that VA is not good or FHA is not good. We shouldn't take those. Are you crazy? Like, this is what drives me nuts. The people out there that are getting their license that aren't educated. So these buyers are coming in not getting the homes because the listing agents are telling the sellers, oh, we shouldn't take this. Let me tell you something. VA is amazing. An amazing loan, guaranteed loan. The only appraiser that if it does come in a little low, it tells you. And they don't always come in low. That's a myth. If your house is overpriced, any appraisers coming in low. FHA, great. It's not about first-time home buyers. It's less money down, maybe a better interest rate. So don't just look at somebody's like conventional FHA, VA and say, I'm choosing over that. That makes no sense. All the loans are amazing in their own ways. So you have to be educated on that. And anytime you want any more education on or any questions, please call me and I can explain the difference. So we're going to go over this, right? Price, inspection time frame, escrow, the contract filled out wrong, type of loan, fees, and closing costs. I'm going to go over what's going on here, how to get you a better advantage of when making an offer. So you're welcome to all those buyers agents that are watching this. And I'm going to show you things that I do completely different than everybody else. And it's the reason why I got 2 more buyers in contract. So let's start. You're looking at a house. First things first is the price. In this market, if the house especially is under $250,000, do not come in and try to negotiate or play games. If it's $250,000, you're giving them $250,000. You got to understand this market is ridiculously hot right now. There's no reason to go $249,000. So I'm going to use a lot of examples on the houses that we're selling. We had a house price at $240,000. Someone offered $238,000. Like, what is the purpose of that? And it wasn't cash. It was just, you know, a loan. You're going to save $3 a month to try to act like you're getting a deal. It's not the type of market right now to act egotistical, right? If the house is $250,000, $240,000, $230,000, just give them what they want, right? You got to give them what they want. Now, the problem we're seeing is people like, oh, go over $15,000 or $20,000. Let me explain something. If I'm pricing a house at $250,000, it might be worth $240,000, but I'm pricing it a little higher because I'm playing with the market. If you come and you offer $260,000, $270,000, I'm going to advise my seller not to take your deal, because now what you're doing is you're taking maybe a high-priced house already and you're offering so much more that it's not going to appraise. And guess what? The loophole is if it doesn't appraise, you can walk away from the deal. So why do I want to take your offer just because you're pricing it way higher thinking you're going to get it? It makes no sense, okay? You guys got to take this philosophy of overpricing a house and get it out. The only way, ready? The only way this works ever is if you then say you'll pay the difference of appraisal or up to a certain amount. So I'll explain this. You have 2 offers. Let's say the house is $200,000. You offer $200,000. I offer $205,000, right? Now I say to the seller, I'll give you $5,000 difference if it doesn't appraise. I'm absolutely taking that deal because I'm putting up the money to back it up, right? Now, not everyone has the money. I get it. That's why I'm giving you scenarios of how to help your advantage. But that's a huge advantage. I love when deals come like that. Here's another thing you could do, a little bonus. Tell the seller that you will get the appraisal done right away. Right away. Don't wait. It's a huge advantage. Number 2, inspection time frame. What that means is this. You have a certain amount of time to do inspections on the home, right? Because the seller's selling it as is, which gives you the right to do your inspections and soulfully decide. As a listing agent, it says if left blank 15 days. There is no reason in this market that I'm pulling a house off the market for 15 days for you to do your inspections and then come back and say you don't want the house. There are agents that are literally leaving it blank. How are you a realtor and not understand this contract? You should be doing 7 or less days. Now you're saying, well, Karen, the inspectors, they're slammed. That's why you have to call inspectors like we do and say, hey, look, I'm about to put an offer on this house in a couple days. I need to make sure I can lock you up for 2 days afterwards. Good? Okay, I'll let you know if I get the offer accepted. We're always 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of the game because we want to make sure that you as a buyer is protected. The least amount of days on the inspection is such a better offer. For example, if you offer $200,000 and I offer $200,000 and your inspection is 15 days and mine's 5 days, there's no way you're getting the deal over me because I am getting less days for them to come off the market. So why would they want anybody to pull their house off the market for all this time and put it back on? You have to use the inspection time frame within whatever market it is. Buyer's market, take as much time as you want. This market, the least amount of time is better. Escrow. Escrow shows sellers that you're putting money down and you're risking money even though there's no risk, and I'll go over that another time. But at least you're putting money down. When you put less than 1%, you're telling the seller that, oh, I don't care. If I walk away, that's what the mentality is. You got to remember, different states have different rules for escrow, right? So when you have sellers that are from up north and they see escrow and they see a little bit amount, it throws them off. Oh, I don't want to take that deal. They're only putting 1,000. Even though escrow is refundable so many different ways, a lot of people don't understand that. And you have to realize when you're dealing with escrow, you're dealing with a different mentality. It should always at least be 1% of the deal, unless it's cash, which is completely different, right? So when you're putting down escrow, make sure you put, if the house is $250,000 and your escrow is $1,000, what you're telling the seller is you might be a risk for money. Maybe there's a debt to ratio income or something's going on that you might be a risk. Think about it if they see, if these listing agents assume that FHA is bad, which is not, and you're putting 3.5% down and you're putting down less than 1%, they're going to assume you're a high risk buyer. Okay. Contract filled out wrong. Holy moly, everyone listen to what I'm about to tell you here. 60 offers come in. Do you know how many of those contracts were filled out wrong? We are just doing highest and best. We're not going back and forth and negotiating, right? So when we have houses and we have offers coming in, we're going over them all with the seller, right? These contracts are filled out wrong. We're not going to go back to you and say, hey, you filled out wrong. But this is you hiring the agent that represents you. If they can't even fill out a contract correctly, you're losing out. And you know what? The sad thing is you might not even realize that it's not that you got outbid. It's that the contract that your agent presented was filled out incorrectly. And that's it. You're already done. The house is gone. I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, let's go back to this person and give them a second chance to fill out that contract. It happens all the time. But guess what? You go on Facebook and you go, hey, I'm looking for a realtor. And 50 million people come out. I'm a realtor. My friend's a realtor. My vet's a realtor. My plumber's a realtor. Everyone's a realtor. How many people actually do this full-time and educated? I mean, this one is unreal. Marissa, my admin, she's always calling me up like, can you believe that? I know. All right. Type of loan goes back to what I said in the beginning. Listen, if you come in and you make an offer on any of my properties, VA, FHA, conventional, I don't care. They're all amazing loans. They all work for different scenarios. I feel so bad for the people that aren't getting homes because the listing agent is complete. Biggest myth. VA appraisers come in low. No, they don't. If you're overpriced, yes, it'll come in low. The VA actually is the only appraisal that if it does come in low, it gives you a heads up. That's an awesome advantage. Hey, it's going to come in low. You have a couple days to figure it out. VAs are great, FHA is great, conventional is great, they're all great, right? There's pros and cons in some way and shape. I'll go over that a whole nother day. But the type of loan is like, it drives me crazy that like, if you're at FHA, you know, everyone's assuming, or at VA, you're at the bottom of the list. And it's like ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that because people need to be educated more. Absolutely. 3.5% is a lot better than 5% if you have that choice, right? Maybe the interest rate's better. Fees. You ready for this one? This just happened this week. If your agent charges you a transaction fee, fire that. What are you doing? And this is why. I love this contract. They put in a $495 transaction fee to their buyer. I said, what are you, crazy? Why would you put this on? Oh, we're going to put it in the loan. And that's, okay. So let's say the house is $100,000. So basically you're offering us $100,000 and $495. So my seller's going to take the $495 because you're rolling it into a loan and credit it back to you because that's how the buyer's paying you. How greedy can you be? You know what my seller said? This buyer is not getting this house because of this greedy agent. Loved it. I would never, ever charge a transaction fee. That is so insane that people do. He probably just heard me say that. Like, yo, that happened to me. This is craziness. So when you see fees in these, like, you're not happy making the 2.5%, 3% you're making, you have to charge this buyer more money? People, when you're interviewing an agent and they're saying, oh, we charge a transaction fee, how are you allowing that to be like, okay, I would like, no, there's so many other people that can represent me. You got to get away from that mentality, these transaction fees. Ugh. Closing costs. I am not a huge fan of new construction, right? In some ways, of course, in other ways, I'm not. In this market, closing cost, sometimes, if you need it, is better to go to a new construction because you might get more from a builder right now than you are from a resale. It is impossible to get closing costs right now. Now, closing costs aren't really credited from the seller. You can roll it into your loan and you can come higher, and that's for different markets. What we're seeing right now is people are offering, like, okay, if the house is $200,000, they're saying, oh, I'll give you $210,000, but I need 3% back towards closing costs. Right now, that's impossible. It's impossible to get, you know, because people are offering full price without going above, or even if they go above, they don't need the closing costs. Remember, it has to appraise. So you're saying that you want to get a loan for $10,000 more, right? Or whatever the case may be, and it has to appraise. And if it doesn't appraise, let's say it appraises for the full price at $200,000, you still want the 3% from there, which means I'm netting $194,000. It's not going to work. And listen, I'm a firm believer. I tell everyone this. If you can buy a house, always buy a house with closing cost credits. It's just the smartest way to buy a house. But it's just impossible to do it right now. It's really, really, really hard. So that's where new construction might be better for you because you might get more closing costs. So, you know, that's kind of how you have to look. It's going to be impossible for you to add closing. Get a gift from a family member, you know. See if you can, hey, Uncle Jack, you know, you want to lend me some money? It's just so much easier than that. Okay, the last one is something that we do. Ask yourself, why are you hiring the agent that you're hiring? What are they doing for you, right? Anybody can open a door and let you in, but what are they really doing for you? So here's an example of things that we do differently. We kind of look at the house, and all right, so we had a buyer who's a teacher in Riverview, thank you very much, who we walked into a house, and I always ask this question. If this house tomorrow was sold to somebody else, would your day be ruined or would you be like, whatever? He said, yeah, I'd be so upset. I really need this house. Sure, no problem. Well, we made a really good offer. And then I offered the seller $2,000 for my commission back to her. Hey, here's some money from me as a gift. Can you take his offer, please? Great buy. Look, great buy. I already had the home inspection set up because remember, I do it in advance. Home inspection set up like right away. I did a 5-day inspection set up the next day, and I offered money from my commission back to the seller. It was under 250. So you imagine how many offers they had. Agent called me up and was like, yo, seller, love that. I mean, love the fact that you gave back money. You already had everything set up. You're already ready to rock and roll. Bam, it's yours. Like, that's what we do. We had another deal that we put money of our commission towards the appraisal. So if it didn't appraise, we could still cover our buyer from buying it. And it worked. And we did. We had money come out of our commission to make sure. That's the whole point. It's like, I'm here to help you guys buy or sell. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And I'll volume myself out, right? I work on volume. We sold 161 houses last year. We do a lot of volume. Bill Glasner is an amazing agent. Marissa has a license. She's an amazing agent. But we go well beyond what we have to do for you. Because at the end of the day, that's why you're hiring us for. So if you have any questions, you want to go over this more and understand why you're not getting the deal you're getting, share this video. I'm seeing people constantly on Facebook being like, I can't get a house. Now, is this 100% guaranteed going to work? No. It's just giving you an edge, big time. I'm giving you the key to what I'm looking for as a listing agent. If you want to hire me to represent you buying a house, absolutely. We would love to represent you. We do crazy, amazing things to get you a house. So any questions, please, you can call us anytime. I'd love to hear your comments. Any questions you have, any other education you want to do, I will teach you. Have a wonderful day and hope to talk to you guys soon.